On page 14 in your packet, you're going to see a list of possible star ideas. You really need to think about the information that you have received from your note-taking and really decide, yes, my person meets the definition of a hero, or no, they're not a hero. These are possible key star ideas you can use in your essay, but you are not limited to these. So thinking about my Langston Hughes notes, I'm going to take 3 highlighting colors, and I'm going to highlight 3 of the options that I think Langston Hughes meets. So I do believe he meets the definition of a hero, and I think he does that because he has overcome obstacles in his life. So I'm going to highlight that one yellow. Something else that he's done to make him a hero is that he's had a positive impact on society. So I'm going to choose a different color highlighter and highlight that green. And then finally, for my 3rd star idea, I'm going to take another color and I'm going to highlight the inspiring acts because he has done inspiring acts throughout his life. From there, I'm going to go back to my notes, back and forth between my 2, write down the colors and my star ideas on my notes pages so that I have it there. The next star idea is, so here you will see the notes I've taken about Langston Hughes, and rather than flipping 2 pages, I'm going, so using yellow, I'm going to do a star idea is obstacles. My green, and it's positive impact on society. And my last one was a red star idea that was inspiring acts. So now I'm going to go into my notes and I'm going to highlight the things that meet those star ideas. So I'm going to start with my yellow, and I'm going to go through everything, and I'm going to look up at childhood, and I see that it says birth date 1902, place of birth. None of those really fit into any of my 3 categories, so I'm not going to highlight them. But then I look at parents, and his father moved to Mexico. His mother worked so much that she wasn't around, which was why he lived with his grandmother. And I think those are all obstacles that he's faced throughout his life. Oops. So I'm going to highlight all of those yellow because that meets the obstacle key star idea. So then some important events. His grandma died and he lived with his mom. I think that's also an obstacle. I think moving often is an obstacle. Teacher sparked poetry. I don't really think that fits in any of my 3 categories. Extreme poverty. Extreme poverty means that he was extremely poor. So again, I think that's a yellow obstacle. So then we're down to my next star idea, which is education. Despite all of what happened to him, I mean, his father wasn't around, his mother wasn't around, he lived with his grandmother, then his grandmother died and he lived with his mom, he moved a lot. I think the fact that he went to college then is an inspiring act. So I'm going to highlight the college part red. I think I'm going to highlight the dropped out part. He made a mistake and dropped out. Maybe college wasn't for him, but I still think because he continued to succeed, I think it's inspiring that he, in spite of dropping out of college, he was still successful. I think inspiring act, he was able to get a scholarship, and it's inspiring that he received that award. Then I go to my travel abroad. He worked as a steward on a ship. That should say Africa. Spain and France was where he traveled. I don't think those really fit into any of those. Important events. He traveled. Lincoln published. I don't even know what I was talking about for my notes there. So I would either go back into my sources and try and find what I was referring to, but I can't highlight any of that. So you'll notice that I really don't have a ton of information on green. Now this was only one page of my notes, and you would continue to go through all of your notes to highlight, but each of these colors is going to become a paragraph. So if you see that you're really short on a green color or really short on a red, you may need to go back into your research to find more notes specifically on inspiring acts or positive impact on society. If I were to continue doing this through all my notes, you would see that later on in his life, he did have that positive impact on society through his writing. And you would see that as I would continue down through. So what I would like you to do now is to go into your notes, look at page 14 in your packet, decide what are the 3 reasons my person is a hero or is not a hero. And then you need to go through your notes and start highlighting. You are not highlighting everything. Just like mine, not everything fits into those categories.